Good evening. I would like to call to the meeting on Friday, June the 20th, 2025. Meeting of the Forest Park Planning Commission to order. The Planning Commission serves as the recommending body for the mayor and city council. The Planning Commission shall recommend approval with condition or denial of application being forwarded to the mayor and city council. All persons who wish to address the Planning Commission shall sign up on a form to be provided by the planning secretary prior to the commencement of the hearing of each speaker. Shall speak only to the merits of the proposed petition under consideration and shall address his remarks only to the members of the Planning Commission. The application as well as the proponents for or against the petition shall have 10 minutes to speak during the public hearing portion of this meeting. Prior to the speaking, the speaker will identify him or herself and state his or her name. And current address only persons who are signed up may speak to the petition being heard. Staff will first present the petition, then I will ask the board member if they have any questions. Then I will open the meeting for public comments, at which time the application will speak first, followed by additional speakers. Once everybody has spoken, I will then close the public comments for discussion and recommendation by the Planning Commission members. So at this time, I'll turn it over. Okay, so we can't go through that. That wasn't canceled. Okay. So at this time, roll call.
Asfar Huck is absent. Michael Clinkscales.
Here.
Michael Clinkscales is present. Roderick Jackson is absent. Donald Williams.
Present.
Donald Williams is present. Lois Wright.
Present.
Lois Wright is present. Vice Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay. So at this time, do we approve our minutes? You went over the minutes. Right. Motion to approve minutes as read.
A motion to approve the minutes of May 15th, 2025.
Next. All right, it's been motion and second, all in agree?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay. All right, no business. So, all right, so we'll open it up.
Good evening, Vice Chairman and the board. First case we have today is case VAR 2025-07, variance request to allow the reduction of the side yard setback from the required 10 feet to 8 feet and a half, and to reduce the required rear yard setback from 30 feet to 5 2/10 feet to allow the construction of a two-family home on the property currently located in a single-family residential district. Well, the district was just approved by mayor and council on Monday to be rezoned to RT, but this is in Ward 3. Within the request, staff recommends approval with conditions of the variance to reduce the left side yard setback from 10 feet to 8.5 feet and to the rear yard setback from 30 feet to 5.2 feet as shown on the submitted site plan to accommodate the proposed two-family residential structure. The conditions of this approval is as follows. 1, the development should substantially conform to the site plan submitted with the variance application. 2, each residential unit shall provide a minimum of 2 off-street parking spaces in compliance with the RT zoning standards. The applicant has met that standard, that condition for number 2. And 3, any future modifications shall to the structure or site layout to impact the setback requirements will require further review and approve from the Planning Commission and or appropriate reviewing body. The proposed variances are consistent and considered reasonable due to the lot size and configuration and will not adversely affect the adjacent properties or the overall intent of the RT zoning district. That concludes my presentation for that case.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, do we have anyone who wants to speak in favor of this? At this time, we open the door. Anybody want to speak against? All right, so we close. All right, this time.
Yeah, close it now.
All right.
Done by Ms. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so do we have any question?
I don't have any questions.
All right. Any question? All right. So at this time, we want to come to a motion.
Motion that we approve case number variance 2025-07.
Okay, a second.
With the conditions,
Is that it?
with the conditions.
With condition.
The approval of variance with conditions.
Okay, you second.
I second.
Okay. So it's been motion and second. All who agree?
Aye.
All who oppose? All right, so it has passed.
The second case is VAR 2025-08. Variance request to reduce the rear yard side, the required side yard setback of the east side of the existing residence from 10 feet to 4 feet to allow an extension of the home, which is located within the single-family residential district in Ward 2. The extension is necessary to allow for the extension of the home, which includes the expansion of the master bedroom and enlarging an office space on that side of the property. And moving forward with this variance will allow the homeowner to enhance the existing property. Staff recommends approval with conditions of the variance to reduce the required side yard setback of the east side of the property existing residence from 10 feet to 4 feet to allow for the proposed extension of the home. We have set conditions of approval that include the development shall substantially conform to the submitted site plan, and any future modifications impacting setback requirements will require additional review and approval. The variance is supported due to the lot corner configuration and resulting site constraints, which limit the applicant's ability to meet current zoning standards.
Okay. All right, at this time, we have anyone who wants to speak in favor? Oppose against?
Yes, the applicants are present.
So at this time,
Mr. Freeman,
do we have any, the applicant is here?
Mr. Freeman is the applicant.
Okay, so would you like to come up and? Okay, thank you. Okay,
I'm not fussing.
State
I-
your name.
I'm Billy Freeman.
name and address.
751 Bridge Avenue. I don't know how even I got here. My house was built in 1942. It's 83 years old. The house is built on the property line. On the property line. I'm getting a variance to take it off of the property line. It's not me doing that. I'm bringing it in. And it's been a tough process, and it's been a real frustrating process. During the last big storm, the whole side of my house was flooded. I had to tear it off because all the flooding comes because of how the topography runs. At the two houses next door to me, all the water flows one way, and my other neighbor Erica, all her water flows down. So when it's a bad storm, all the water settles in my yard at where my office was. So once that happened, I'm a construction guy. I have to tear it off because it's rotting, and I had to replace all the floors in the house. And then I have to get a variance to put my house back where it was. That's not right. And I can't, I'm frustrated about a lot of things that's going on in the neighborhood, how it's almost set up for people not to improve their properties, especially got people who rent those houses, because it's so expensive and the fee structure is so crazy to even improve anything. I would like for this board to ride around that park, the cultural heart of this city, and look at the shape that these people have to live in these rental homes. And I know a lot of the landlords who own these people, they are scared to touch them because of the fee structure and all the headache you have to go through to even fix the stuff that's wrong with your house. And I'm talking about, it's okay for me, a guy like me who just got resources to throw at it. I'm putting a $75,000 detention system under my house to catch all the water from 3 other yards. See, and if any landlord was to spend that kind of money, he can't get it back. If you're charging somebody $1,400, what you gonna do, jack the rent up to $2,500? Nobody in Forest Park can afford to pay that. So I would love to invite this board, because we always have these train rides around to look at Fort Gillum and everything else. But look at the heart of your city and see the shape that some of these people have to live in around that park, where we invite everybody in every weekend to throw parties and enjoy themselves and everything. And the people over here live in some of those houses in such bad shape that I can't even fix them.
So they slumlords?
Huh?
Slumlords?
No, they're not slumlords. You can't afford to fix up the house because of the fee structure. You got to bring in an architect. You can't even do simple fixes to your own house without a whole bunch of. I'm talking about, because for me to get through this process, you wouldn't believe, and I got somebody who's working with me. You wouldn't believe the cost that it costs to put back, not to put the extension that I'm putting on the house, but just to put back what got washed away. If it's no such thing as grandfathered in this place. That house is 80. It's the oldest residential structure in Forest Park and the prettiest. And the money I had to put under that house just to keep it like it was is unreal. No landlord could do something like that because the tenant couldn't afford to live in it. But that's just something we need to consider. It ain't got nothing to do with this board. I appreciate how good you work with me. But I want y'all to ride around and see how some of these people are forced to live. And somehow these landlords really can't pull the trigger because of the break them to do it.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Here's my neighbor.
All right. Thank you. We hear you.
How you doing? I'm Chandra Stibe. I live in Stone Mountain, 432 Martin Road, Stone Mountain, Georgia, but I am a landlord in Forest Park. And the 2 houses right next to Mr. Freeman is mine,
Okay.
which is where he's trying to get the variance, and I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. All right. You have no problem. Anybody want to speak
Sorry.
again? No.
I don't.
Is it your house that Mr. Freeman talking about? That they can't, does not look right, blighted house? I mean, he almost saying that.
No, my
Yeah,
houses are
like that.
fine. It's just the fact that I have one on East Street and I have a dope house right next door that I've been asking you guys to tear it down or get this owner to fix it. I even put a fence up to 5018 East Street is mine.
She said.
Yeah, 5018 East Street is mine. I asked you guys several times to get the dope house down, which it has a hole through the ceiling. People are going in and out of it. The owner, I've contacted her several times, and my tenant, I can't raise my tenant's rent. I can't even really do anything to it because I got this house here right next to
We got dope house
Well, that'll be,
right there by the park.
that's code,
what?
code enforcement.
Yeah, it was, I called code enforcement several times, and now that the guy who was in there is out, the house is still vacant and it's still falling down. So I put a fence up there to kind of block off my people from looking at it. It's right before you get to the laundromat. It's right there. Y'all can't miss it. I done called y'all several times to get that down. Y'all still don't do that.
What's the address again? I'm sorry.
Mine's is 5018 East Street, and I'm not sure which that is. It's right directly next door.
East Street.
East, EAST
East.
Street, yeah. So I don't know what that is, but if I go in there and I renovate it and this, that, and the other, I would have to charge the tenant, Ms. Freeman is right. I would have to charge her, about $2,500. But why would I put that money into it when I can't get the city to get this dope house down?
Mm.
The police have come a couple of times.
That's the 5018 East Street.
Okay. We want to bring it back in, but we do understand what you're saying, and you do agree with the variance?
I agree with the variance.
Okay,
Very well.
thank you.
I agree. Thank you.
And that what you, we heard you. We just want to say that, okay?
All right, yes,
All right.
nobody's ever heard me, so I don't even come to these meetings.
We got you. We heard you though. Thank you. All right, anybody that want to speak against? That's, all right. So at this time, we want to close. Oh, you have some? Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to speak to the statement that Mr. Freeman stated as far as the age of the home. So yes, we required him to complete a variance because once the home, so as long as the home is existing as is, it is considered grandfathered in or non-conforming. Once you make changes to the home, if you're changing the exterior structure as far as where the setbacks lie, you're moving the home inward, even though the house was built on the property line, even though he is moving the home in 4 feet, it still is outside of the 10-foot minimum requirement. So that's why he was required to do a variance for the setback. Anytime you make changes to an existing structure in the grandfather status, you have to conform to the current zoning standards. So being that the lot is peculiar shaped and it's a corner lot, that was the purpose of him having to apply for the variance.
Okay. Right. And all the condition has been met.
Yes, as long as he conforms to the site plan provided, then he is fine. But if he does intend to make any additional changes in the future, then he will have to come back before the board as far as changing the footprint of the home. Now, if he's changing the siding, that's one thing, but changing the footprint, we would have to.
Right. And that's because of the grandfather.
Correct.
clause. Okay. All right. So Spring, you understand that? Now, we got you. Okay. All right. So at this time, again, do we have anybody else that like to speak at this time? So we'll close it. All right, so recommendations. Okay. You like to have something you like to say? Okay.
Case VAR 2025 08, approval for variance with condition to be approved.
Okay, motion, one second it.
I second it.
All right, so it's been motion and second, all in agree?
Aye.
Those who disagree? All right,
All right, thank you.
all right.
The last case of this evening is VAR 2025-09, current zoning single family district in Ward 5. Variance request to extend the permitted duration of a temporary portable structure from 6 months to 24 months to allow the construction and the use of temporary structure as classrooms while construction is completed on the second floor of the school. The property is located within the single family residential district in Ward 5. Based on the request from the Montessori school, temporary, section 8-876, temporary building standards. In conjunction with this, the permit allows for initial 6-month temporary portable structure permit, and upon permit, and upon compliance with the original requirements, a discretionary second 6-month extension is allowed upon request. So typically it is supposed to be within a 12-month period with 6-month allowed and an additional 6-month granted. But outside of that, they're requesting an additional 12 months outside of that. So it's totaling 24 months. Based off our review of the site and the request of the applicant and the analysis, staff has recommended to grant the approval to the Montessori school with conditions of the variance. So this approval with conditions allows them to extend the permitted duration of the temporary structure from 12 months to 24 months to allow their use of classroom during an ongoing construction of the second floor of the existing school facility located at 5881 Phillips Drive. The following conditions shall apply. 1, driveway improvements. Applicant shall upgrade the existing gravel driveway in accordance with section 5-1-8 driveway installation. Specifically, all driveways must be constructed of concrete, asphalt, or an approved equivalent materials subject to design, review, and approval. 2, parking and access requirements. The applicant shall ensure that all on-site parking areas are clearly striped and visible, constructed to meet current city standards, and capable of accommodating the additional traffic generated by the temporary classroom structures. 3, temporary structure duration limit. The placement of the temporary portable structure shall not exceed 24 months from the date of the permit issuance. No additional extensions shall be granted beyond this period without further planning commission review and approval. Number 4, construction timeline compliance. The applicant shall submit and maintain a construction schedule demonstrating ongoing progress toward the completion of the permanent school facility. If at any time construction ceases for more than 90 consecutive days without demonstrated cause, the city reserves the right to revoke the temporary structure permit. 5, permitting requirements. The applicant shall obtain and maintain all required permits for both the temporary structure and the permanent construction work throughout the duration of the project. No occupancy or use of temporary classrooms shall occur without proper approval and inspections. 6, code compliance. All temporary structures must meet applicable building, fire, and accessibility codes. Necessary permits and inspections shall be obtained and completed prior to occupancy. 7, site maintenance. The property, including the area surrounding the temporary structure, shall be kept in a clean and orderly condition. Adequate trash receptacles, lighting, and pedestrian access shall be provided for safety and operational efficiency. 8, neighborhood notification. The applicant shall notify all adjacent property owners and neighborhood associations within 300 feet of the site of the variance approval and anticipated timeline for construction and removal of temporary structures. 9, removal and restoration. Upon expiration of the approved period, the applicant shall remove all temporary structures and restore the site to its original or improved condition, subject to inspection and sign off by the city. This concludes the conditions provided for the conditional approval for the variance.
Thank you. Do we have the applicant here? All right. Would you like to come and speak? Address your name and address.
My name is Cameron Quick, address is 7517 South Dent. I'm the owner's rep with the Georgia Charter School Association, the Facility Resource Center, representing the school for this need. And we're good with these conditions.
Okay, no problem with the condition. Right, good. Anybody else would like to speak for or against? Okay, at this time we'll close it. Yeah. Any question?
No question.
No question. All right, we'll motion.
This time.
Mo-
I motion that we accept the variance 2020-09. And Brook Drive. That's the one?
Yeah.
I motion that we approve it
Second.
With condition.
with conditions.
Okay, so it's been motion and second. All in agree?
Aye.
And those who disagree? All right, so it's been accepted and approved.
Well, that concludes our cases for today.
All right, so motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
I will agree. All right, thank you. All right, what's, you knew.
Yeah, you do.
How you doing? Yeah, he's new.
Yeah,
He's
first
new.
time.